G'day viewers, it's Wednesday, which means it's time for WAINGAFAT Wednesday, where I tell you who am I not giving a fuck about today.
Yay!
And today, I'm just not giving a fuck about the leader of the federal opposition in Australia, one Tony Abbott.
Hang on a minute.
I know, you're going to say I do care about him.
Well, you speak a lot about him.
Okay, I've made it really clear I disagree with, I was going to say his policies, but his policies seem to be not them.
Yeah, big boy didn't run away, matron.
Yeah, and I really don't think a lot of him as a human.
That's really fair. He says a lot about that all the time. When we're not on camera, there's a lot of things he says.
Normally starts spitting about halfway through that conversation.
The first word. The first word. Which, you know, considering it's only got one plosive and a short vowel, is tricky.
Yeah. But
it's the t at the end.
The reason I don't give a fuck about him is because he's essentially written himself off. Whatever I think about him and whatever creepy visions I have about him being Prime Minister, when the current government is probably going to get creamed in the next election.
It gives me the snake and then it touches the pony.
Yes, and I believe that's an official policy that he's been putting forward.
Stop the boats! It gives me the snake and touches the pony.
But his lifespan is so limited. I mean, choose who's got the knife in their hand. They're standing behind him. It's just a question of timing.
You know,
is
it big boy hockey? Or is it smooth boy turnbull?
It's going to be turnbull. No one likes hockey.
I'm thinking in this game of ours, boys, only one of us has got a bullet.
But you want to know the reasons I've written this guy off completely? Like, I can't even hate him anymore. He is simply so pathetic. The sort of ridiculous crap he's said over the years, like trying to act meaningful and supportive. He's infamous when he's with the soldiers talking about the death of a soldier, which he had already politicised. But when someone's saying to him, no, stop saying the government's not looking after the... When a soldier is saying to him, stop saying the government's not looking after soldiers, because they are, you're in, oh, shit happens. Which is deep and meaningful, as far as he goes, anyway.
When you're talking about the death of service personnel, shit happens. It's, you know, about the most deep and stirring you can get. Unless it's touch the pony.
But if you want a good laugh, there's probably still video of him where a reporter actually needled him on that point. And most of his higher brain functions shut down. And his head, he actually looks like a bobblehead doll. He's going...
Yeah. He looks like he's trying to push out a square turn. Because he said it was out of context. You took me out of context. I said, no, here it's all unedited. And he's like...
Where's... What context?
Look, you're going to have a seizure.
It was pretty funny to watch.
Very funny.
I think he was trying to dislocate his jaw and swallow the journo high.
Just... pony.
But he's gone more recently... In case you don't know about Australia's politics, in the last election, the government lost their majority and they had to form a minority with some independent politicians, a minority government supported by some independents. It is the most precarious government in Australia's history.
Booyah!
And he hasn't been able to knock them off.
No, it's been ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
If I walked up to it with a dick and a feather, it'd fall over, right?
But he can't put it. So his way of summing that up is saying to his party room, oh, Gillard's not going to roll over and die. That was his actual words.
What a mole! What a mole!
So they have to work for a living, apparently. But what they've done is, with their unrelenting campaign of negativity, it's had two effects. One is it's actually started to get people to believe several of the lies they've been putting forward.
Stop the boats!
But, you know, that's politics. I don't really worry too much about that. But the second thing is, it's created a very negative impression of him, Tony Abbott, because he's so negative, right? But he had the answer, which just made me, just dig a hole, shovel the dirt on top. This guy is a political carcass. His answer for why he's unpopular, government's fault.
Government's fault. It's the government's fault.
Government's fault because...
When I was born unto the Virgin on the right day and the angels went, oh, Tones, you're going to get the top job because you worked you inherited it, and Tones, you're going to be the man that everyone goes, oh, we need strong leadership. You the guy. Because that's another one. We need strong leadership. What does that actually mean?
Yeah. But his unrelenting negativity has made people not like him. And he says the only reason he's negative is the government sucks.
Fault.
So it's his job to keep saying bad things.
Government's fault.
About this government that sucks, that has, like, low unemployment, low interest rates, strongest economy of any Western democracy, but it's still a shitty government, okay?
And they don't know economics or policy or nothing because they're the strongest in the world. They're stuffed.
Yeah.
Like, we could be like Greece, but no, we've got to be like Australia.
So his answer is
the government's fault. It's the government's fault.
Which is a nice multi-purpose policy.
It is, isn't it?
Why is it so cold?
It's the government's fault.
Okay. Why do the birds poo on my car where I park it?
Government's fault.
Why is that really hot chick up the road got a restraining order against?
It's government's fault, and the fact that we went round there a lot and touched her.
Still government's fault.
Government's fault.
So,
And touching.
Yeah, government and touching.
There's zones. You're not allowed to go. It's the government's fault.
That's the government's fault.
Who's enforcing it? It's government's fault.
So, look, I tell you, if it's good enough for someone who thinks they should actually be running a country, it's good enough for you.
Absolutely.
Any situation.
Oh, I've stubbed my toe. It's the government's fault.
So just remember.
I accidentally ate a light bulb. It's the government's fault. Oh, I accidentally put a halogen lamp in my bottom.
Government's fault.
And me, I did
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the government told you to.
They did. They said if it can go in one way, it can go out the other.
It's a recycling program. Dirty greenies, government's
fault.
So, yeah, you know, someone like Tony Abbott, who's got nothing positive or constructive to offer, you know, not worth giving a fuck about. But hey, just remember, when you spill a coffee next time,
it's the government's fault.